The great Stokely Carmichael once said that the job of the conscious is to make the unconscious conscious. This video is being made within the spirit of those words. Here's how to know if you are mentally enslaved. If you find yourself rejecting facts, ignoring available information, refusing to critically think and apply common sense in order to hold on to your belief, you are in fact mentally enslaved. If you place holding on to traditional beliefs above finding out what's actually true, you are mentally enslaved. Mental slavery is when people suspend their intellectual faculties in order to hold on to beliefs that actually insults their own intelligence. Moreover, false beliefs that allows themselves to be subjugated to the will, beliefs, and attitudes of another people. People whose minds are not mentally enslaved finds pleasure in gaining information that was previously unknown to them, because doing so elevates their minds and it allows them to make better informed decisions in regards to their actions and life directions. They know that a life lived based upon informed decision is to have lived a more fulfilling life. Mentally enslaved people fears death, while those that are awakened fears dying while being mentally enslaved, and therefore having lived their entire lives wherein which their minds were never truly their own. Now here's how to tell the difference between mental liberating knowledge and false knowledge. True mental liberating knowledge expands your mind to a greater intellectual radius and capacity. It expands your understanding of your plight and condition, and it stimulates your mind with more avenues that can be used to liberate yourself. And a mind once expanded to a greater radius by liberating true knowledge can never return to its smaller dimensions because the truth won't allow it to. This is why our enemies describe Black liberating truth as being a virus within the system of white supremacy that sits upon a throne of lies. This is why whenever we post Black liberating truth, Facebook blocks it and places us in Facebook jail. Twitter deletes it, Google hides it, YouTube bans it, and white alleged fact checkers often falsely discredits it. They don't want our liberating truth spreading within their system built upon lies. We Black people are the disorganized truth against the white society's well-organized lies. I just explained how to know if you're following mental liberating information. Okay, now here's how to know if your beliefs are false knowledge. False knowledge does not expand your understanding of your plight and condition to a greater radius. It does not stimulate your mind with more avenues that you could use to liberate yourself. It does not expand your mind to a greater intellectual radius and capacity. It leaves your mind stagnant, such as repeatedly praying to Jesus without seeing any results. This is in fact meets the definition of insanity, which is to keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome. When your belief is false knowledge, when you post about it, your postings will not be blocked, deleted, nor will your social media account be suspended for posting about it. This is because posting about false knowledge is endorsed by our oppressors. They want to keep our people believing in false knowledge. This is why they never provide fact checks stating the fact that Jesus and Willie Lynch never existed. This is because they want our people's understanding of our plight and condition to remain flawed. Because if our understandings remain flawed, then all of our remedies that stem from those misunderstandings will also be flawed, thus hindering our true liberation. Black people, it's time to elevate our minds above a biblical fairy tale and a silly slave syndrome and learn instead the truth of our plight and condition. Our plight and condition has nothing to do with a Bible written by the most ungodliest people we've ever encountered and that was brutally beaten into the blood-soaked minds of our ancestors. Such a belief is ridiculous. Nor does our condition has anything to do with a silly slave syndrome myth, which in fact, presents what would be the least effective method used for controlling generations of people. It's simply not how people are controlled. Those who believe that these noted things are true and are the cause of our plight and condition are in fact ignorant. Whenever people are ignorant, nonsense makes perfect sense. Black people, it's time to elevate our minds above falsehoods that literally insults our own intelligence. The truth of our plight and condition is that white governments, agents that specializes in psychiatry and propaganda, analyzes and studies everything about the black population, our beliefs, our likes, our dislikes, strengths, and our vulnerabilities. This surveillance information is gathered and decisions are then made on which fraudulent stories to produce to best create certain psychological feelings among the black population that assists the white society in maintaining its social dominance and control over black people. During the 1960s, white social scientists determined that decade's unprecedented unified black protests was brought on by an elevated and unifying black collective self-esteem brought on by the emergence of the Black Pride movement. They therefore now keeps us believing the fraudulent worst narratives about ourselves because this keeps our collective self-esteem low, divides us, and keeps our collective aggression shifted towards each other, thus protecting the white society from massive unified black retribution. They justify this unethical propaganda campaign by saying that it's the duty of the white government to protect its dominant culture and existing status quo from any dissent and disruption that may rise among the black subordinate population. Welcome to the real world that those of us that are truly conscious have appropriately named the Black People's Matrix. This title is appropriate because in the Matrix film, Neo awakens to discover that the true humans were mentally enslaved by soulless beings that masquerade themselves as being the highest evolved humans. Moreover, that these soulless beings were the programmers of everything that the true humans believed. These soulless beings kept the humans within a perpetual state of mental enslavement because it allowed them to exploit the true humans without any resistance. This is in fact the Black People's Matrix. Those of us who tell you the truth are trying to free you from a mental prison that you don't even know you're trapped within. One love and peace.